my first question is regarding what you hope CIfa will achieve after the two-day forum at the United Nations.
It's the first time we're here. So what we want to achieve as a first goal is to be able to come back next year so that our message that we're bringing this year will be considered constructive, and that this constructive message will stimulate those who come to listen to us to re-invite us so that next year we can take a further step. This is a slow process. We're not going to achieve anything in 2 days. And the ideas we have are not going to become mainstream in 48 hours. It's a long process that is a new start for CIfa. We're the first NGO in the history of the United Nations who holds its forum inside the United Nations headquarters here in New York. And for us it is important to establish ourselves. And next year we have already been invited by the Forum for Development to speak, but this is just the beginning.
And when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that the first day is about the United Nations, the second day is about CIfa. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, what we do, we like to listen. So the first day we let the UN representatives, and you will find representatives from G77, from Global Compact, from UNCTAD, from ECOSOC, express themselves. Once they've expressed themselves, we have our subjects that we will deal with, and we will take into considerations what they have said the first day. So it is really listen to those people who invite you to come express yourself on their turf, and then give your best advice based on what you heard the day before.
Can you talk about what your opening and welcome address will be about during the first day? What will you be focusing on as we enter this forum?
Well, what we're focusing on, I will have a very short welcome address because I'm not here to come and give advice or talk. I'm here to listen. And the first thing I will say is welcome everybody and thank everybody to come and listen, to come to listen and express themselves in an absolutely new environment for the United Nations. I just want to encourage people to speak their mind, there's no necessity to be politically correct, but to express really what they feel, because that is important to build in the future.
We know how the United Nations feels about the Sustainable Development Goals because they're all over the news and we're covering them as reporters. But what about CIfa? How do you feel about the Sustainable Development Goals without being politically correct? Really, what do CIfa member states think, think, and what is the path forward?
Well, first of all, sustainability to us is profit-making. Any element that is not profit-making cannot be sustainable because it will not survive. Second, who is financing everything? Ultimately, it's the private sector. Governments have never produced anything. Governments, constitutionally speaking, are here to establish conditions so that their citizens can develop business and create added value that will permit the general public to live decently. If we stick to those principles, which are not always respected, if I can say, we will already have a significant step forward.
Right, and I think governments or members of societies are realizing that the smaller the government, the better for society, as we are seeing what's happening around the world with some societies. How will the average individual benefit from the roadmap, the framework that CIfa puts forth for different societies?
Well, what we put for is very simple. It's freedom. freedom to undertake, freedom to work, freedom to create added value, and retain a significant part of that added value to reinvest and create more jobs. We do not encourage big government. We do not encourage large systems. We believe in the responsibility of the human being, and what we can do to enhance the potential of the SDGs is to stimulate individuals to become more self-sufficient.